Joining us now on the phone is Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
You have been critical of President Trump in the past, yet you voted for or against these articles of impeachment.
Yeah, I think it's one thing, and I'm going to continue to be critical when necessary. And, as I've said, I think the call and some of the things surrounding it were improper. The issue, though, is I think impeachment is a very high bar. And I went into this with an open mind. It's a very important issue. And I frankly think, and there's not a lot of people who would disagree, that the Democrats rushed this process and I think failed to reach my threshold for what impeachment is. And so I voted against it last night. It's a sad chapter in our history, and, regardless when it goes to the Senate, which is kind of a new wrinkle now, it's something that America, I think, is ready to put behind and have an election in 11 months.
The Senate is part of the checks and balances. Do you think it's appropriate for McConnell to be consulting with the White House over this?
I think it's one thing to be in contact with, White House lawyers and things like that. But some of the statements made, I certainly wouldn't make. I think, look, the Senate should really go into this saying, we're going to have a trial, we're going to have an open mind, we're going to make a decision based on the merits of it. I think they fell short in the House, and then we'll give them an opportunity in the Senate. I wouldn't make the comments that McConnell made. But, that's a whole different body that I don't even really begin to understand over there.
What do you make of the fact that after all of these hearings, we still have a very divided public, 50% roughly, still for impeachments to 50% against? What do you make of the fact that the needle has not moved at all through all of this?
I think it shows my biggest worry right now, which is just the deep divisions in this country. And it'll last at least until the election. And I hope after that we can begin to put some of that aside. Politics is divisive. It always has been. But when we begin to see members of the other party as the enemy, and not, things like China, frankly, or Russia or terrorism, our obsession becomes the other party. That's a problem. And, I'm going to continue. I'm going to vote my conscience, do what's right, and continue to try to do the best I can to bring the temperature down. Although it's a really tough job to do, I'll be honest, because everybody's very divided and very fired up on either side.
Republicans said there wasn't enough evidence. But, of course, the president would not let Mulvaney or Bolton testify, and that may have shed some light on a few things. Would you like to see them testify in a Senate hearing?
I'd always like to see more information come out. The more information we have, the better. Now, look, there is a court process. The president has a right to claim executive privilege, and they have a right to go to court to try to fight that. And this is part of my point. The Democrats were in a rush. I've talked to them in private who said, yeah, but it would take months to get the court process done, which just shows that their deadline was based on the fact that they wanted to get this done either before Christmas or before the election. I know, we want the information now, but there is a process and the court has a say in it. So I just feel like on this side it was very rushed. We'll see what happens on the Senate.
All right, Adam Kinzinger, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Anytime.
Thank you.